Thank you, everyone, for joining Slow Flow Yoga Practice today. I am Sharon Rivet, and I'm glad we're having the opportunity to meet this month. I think I mentioned offline, but for those that may be joining at a later date, if you could get a strap and yoga blocks for this practice, it's going to be a nice, gentle, slow flow practice. So if you don't have blocks, you can use some books stacked up. If not, I can walk you through a variation on this. And if you don't have a strap, you can use a bathrobe tie or anything that will give you some length. So I'm going to come into easy seat. And I'm going to invite everyone to come down to your backs. And really, you can lay in any position that's comfortable for you. So that could be uh, just in constructive rest, where you walk your knees out, your feet out, and you let your knees come in. It could be keeping your legs together or extending your legs. So finding that comfortable place for you down on your back. In today's practice, we are going to spend some time coming in and out of mountain pose. So why do we want to do that? Mountain pose is really the foundational pose, asana, for all the other poses that we practice. And there's so many benefits to practicing mountain pose. And there's also so many variations. So we like to practice mountain pose. The Sanskrit name is Tadasana, which means mountain, and asana means pose, because the benefits are it helps us with our posture. It makes us really aware what good posture feels like, because we're engaged in our legs, our feet, our core. And with this awareness and with this engagement, mountain pose helps us building stability and strength. Strength in the pose and strength in our mind, because it's a reset pose. It's one of those wonderful grounding poses that helps us reset and be present. So as you continue to rest on your backs, we're going to start by doing some pelvic tilts. So if your legs were extended out, you probably want to bring your heels, your feet, the soles of your feet, your heels, a little bit closer to your bottom. We'll start doing some pelvic tilts here just to begin to move our spine. So on an inhale, turning your tailbone up towards the sky, and you'll feel the small of your back press into your back. And as you exhale, you'll turn the pelvis the opposite direction, and you'll get a nice arch in the small of your back. Inhale, tilting upwards. Exhale down. And going back and forth just at your pace, what it is you need in this easy movement here. And so we're combining today a slow flow, but also gentle. So don't be aggressive with any of the flows or poses that we practice today. Just finding awareness and gentleness. Then you can come to neutral here. We'll begin to take some breaths in. So taking a deep belly breath, inhale. And as you exhale, imagine that the back of your shoulders, your shoulder blades are just melting into your back, into the earth. And next, inhale, again, deep belly breath. And as you exhale, feel the middle of your back, the small of your back, softening. Inhale. Exhale, your arms softening, melting into the mat. And then one more inhale. Exhale into your mind's eye, see your whole self softening, finding gentleness and coming to your own breath here, your natural flow. You can bring your left palm onto your heart center, right palm on top. And I invite you to set an intention for today's practice or maybe for your week. It would be something as simple as just remembering to breathe as we move through the busyness of December. And take an inhale and exhale and slowly releasing. Now I'm going to have you take your strap here or your bathrobe tie or whatever you might have available. And bring your right foot into the strap. Let the strap just rest on the ball of your foot. If you can, wrap your strap around your hands, but wrap it in a way so that your top of your arms can just nicely rest on your mat. And we'll take some point and flexes with your foot in the strap, starting to loosen up our legs. And then the next time you flex, take an inhale and just bend the knee. And as you exhale, straighten. Inhale, bend. Exhale, straighten. One more. Inhale, bend. And as you exhale, straighten and just press your heel up to the sky, toes towards your face. And if you feel like it's maybe a little too tense in the back of your leg, let your leg just gently fall away from you, or you can slightly bend your knee. We'll breathe here. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. And bringing the strap into your right hand. Put your left hand on your hip, left hip. Gently start to open towards the right. And again, remember, this is a nice, gentle practice, so only open as far as you're getting a stretch on your inner thigh. Not anything that's going to be overly aggressive. And take 2 breaths here. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale, coming all the way back up to neutral. Bringing the strap into your left hand and crossing all the way over to the left. I'll move here because I have a wall. And again, all you're trying to do is get a stretch down the right side of your leg, right hip. Taking 2 breaths here. Coming all the way back to center. And I'm just gonna, with our heel, let your heel come to the left, back to center, to the right. So you're just wagging your heel back and forth. That's just to give our knees a little bit of motion and your hip. Next time you come back to center, you can take the strap off and either bending your leg or letting your leg just float all the way down to the mat. Take a moment here and just notice if there's any difference between your right side and your left. And then as you're ready, bending that left knee, bringing the strap around the ball of your left foot. Again, taking the strap, maybe wrapping it so that your arms are resting on the mat. We'll start that pointing and flexing, pointing and flexing. You might notice one side is a little bit tighter than the other. That's a knowledge to have, so as you move through your practice or whatever other movement you do, sometimes we have to be aware of tightness. And then we'll bend our knee and straighten, bend and straighten. Bend your knee again, straighten, pressing that heel all the way up. Feeling the stretch, having awareness. Moving the strap to your right hand, opening up to the right. Taking 2 breaths here. Back to center, strap in your right hand as you come over to the right. And breathe in here, a couple of breaths. Inhaling, exhaling. Moving all the way back to center, and we'll come into that gentle heel wag. Wagging your heel left and right. Breathing. Neutral. Moving the strap and either again bending your knee or letting your leg float all the way down. And again, noticing. We'll come into our first mountain pose, and this is supine on our back mountain pose. So you want to bring your feet, for those that's comfortable, to bring them together, or they can be hips width, and flex your feet. Imagine that you're standing on your mat and turning your palms upward towards the sky, towards the universe. And so you can get the feeling here on the floor of mountain pose when we stand. want to engage your thighs. So imagine that they're pulling up towards your groin area. Your feet are nice and firm. And even though we're in this supine position, imagine your head, the crown of your head, reaching towards the sky. With firmness and stability, holdingness, and taking an inhale. Exhale, releasing it, and bring your knees in. And take some rocking side to side. Next time you come over from one side or the other, you can just lightly turn on your side. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, gently pressing all the way up, and we'll come into the different easy. Just move your strap. Coming into easy seat, letting yourself extend through the palm of your head. Taking a breath in and release. In and release. We'll bring our fingertips down to the earth. Going once again, that stability that's there for us. Lifting your palms up to the sky with an inhale. And as you exhale, twisting over to the left. Inhaling back to center. Exhaling to the right. Feel that in. Inhale back to center, nice and slow. Make it with your breath. Over to the left. Flipping back through center. Over to the right. And this time when we come through center and over to the left, let your left hand plant behind you. Your right hand can hold your knee. We'll take that inhale, imagining your head extending up to the sky. And as you exhale, twist it away. Inhaling to extend, exhaling to twist. And then looking out over towards the left, breathing. We're gently going to move our head to look over to the right. So getting a nice stretch here. And then letting your gaze and head look up towards the sky. Releasing, letting your head come back to neutral. Untwisting as you sweep your arms up. And then come over to the right. Take those same breaths to help us extend and twist. Slowly turning your head towards the left and slow. And gazing up towards the sky. Everything as you bring your head back to neutral. Inhaling your arms up, reaching, shoulders melting down. And then slowly folding forward and come right up on your fingertips so you have a nice straight back here. You can bend at your elbows, do a little forward fold, and then coming right back up. Hold it, elbows. Up. Bending one more time, just letting your head release. So ultimately, the quote he says, it's not the mountain we conquer, but it's our. Love that quote because as I was looking into, knowing that it is about the bubble feels to be into tape. Oh, it's not only a foundation, but it's really anywhere and come into some variation of mountain and just let everything reset for yourself. We'll come into cat cow, dropping your belly on an inhale and curling on the exhale. Just going back and forth. Like for many people, December is a busy month. So it's nice to have some gentleness to find softness. Coming back into neutral, we're going to take our right leg behind, and your toes are going to be on the floor. So, leg is straight, toes are on the floor, we're just going to rock forward. Gently rocking it forward, gently rocking. So if you feel a nice way to stretch all the muscles and tendons on our foot, Achilles tendon, love it in your calf. Next time you rock back, and we'll hold for a breath here. Inhaling and exhaling. And then you can release. And bring your left leg back, and we'll come into that again, rocking forward and back, forward and back. And that's nice, slow pace. Slow for people that have plantar fasciitis. Next time you rock back, hold and breathe. Slowly releasing. Bringing your big toes together, walking your knees out, and slowly moving into child's pose. So if your head can't come all the way down to the mat, you can make a pillow with your hands or use your block. So that for people that might need a block, or let your head dangle. While you're here, let's come back to that very deep belly breath that we started out with taking an inhale, and as you release any tension, let yourself go soft with pose. Press back up into table, walk your hands to your knees, and if you can curl your toes and roll up that way, if not, you can use the block to help you. Having it in front, then rolling up into a forward fold with the hands on the block. However, you can comfortably come up to the front of your mat. We'll come into our first standing mountain pose. Let's check and making sure. So as we come into mountain pose, it depends on your hip structure, really. People will say bring your feet close together, but your hips play a huge part in mountain pose and a lot of our poses. So you may have your feet together. I like mine a little bit at hips width. And just as we did when we were on our backs in the supine mountain pose, Tadasana, we were imagining our thighs engaged, pulling upwards, bringing your shoulders up to your ears, letting them roll back so that everything is softened. And in this mountain pose, we'll let our fingertips just reach towards the earth. So a beautiful way to check to see if your weight is even in your feet is see if you can lift up your 10 toes. And if you do that, you'll feel 4 corners of your feet and then release all the way down. We're going to take an inhale, sweeping your arms up towards the sky. Imagining you're gathering up energy. And then turning your palms down towards the earth. We're going to bring that energy and float it all the way down in front of us. Pressing as far as you can go. Then we'll take an inhale, reaching once again. Bring energy with us. Life force prana. And then bring that energy. This time your palms facing towards you. So you're bringing that energy right in. If you want to bend your knees, you can continue to bring it right through. And then with bent knees, we'll sweep all the way up, back into mountain pose. This time just reaching towards the sky. And what's so nice in this variation is your feet are stable on the earth as we reach up towards the sky. And this is a nice variation to practice. You want to improve your balance. And leaving your left arm up to the sky, let's let the right arm just come down. So we're reaching left arm up, right arm extending to our sides. Coming back up with that right arm. And once again, we'll bring some energy down. Palms can be down or facing you. Letting it come all the way down. If you want to bend your knees. Then sweeping all the way up. Arms both reaching. And then letting the left arm come down. One arm reaching towards the clouds, the other reaching out towards our side. Turning that left palm up, sweeping all the way up. Bringing palms together, we'll come to heart center and come into chair pose, Utkatasana. I'll turn towards the side here. A nice gentle one. Again, today's practice, let's just keep it gentle, nice flow here. And then straightening up in chair pose. Let your arms come to a nice wide. Another variation on mountain pose. Bringing palms together, we'll once again come into chair pose. Breathing. And then reaching up towards the sky. Nice wide, heart is open. Letting your hands come down very slowly and interlacing behind your back. So if that's not available, you can just hold your wrists, forearms, whatever feels right for you today. And pressing your palms down towards the mat, opening up your heart space. Breathing, inhale and exhale. Slowly releasing your hands and then just shaking out your arms. A bit of arm work there, even and gentle. You get to build strength and flexibility in all different parts. So if you have your blocks, I'm going to use them today for some gentle salutations. So if you don't have blocks, I will try to walk you through this without using blocks. If you have them, you don't want them right in front of you because we're going to come into a forward fold. And if everyone looks like you're ready here, everyone's all set, great. Take an inhale to sweep all the way up, reaching towards the sky. And as you exhale, folding forward, let your hands come to the block. I have mine on the highest because I just want to allow myself to be gentle in this practice today. So fold yourself forward. And take a breath, press on your hands to come into a nice straight back there. Take an inhale, bringing your left leg back, so not too far. Your right knee is bent now. We're going to straighten that right knee and bend it. Straighten your right knee and bend. We're going to straighten it one more time. And you can stay right here with a nice straight back. Or you can start to let yourself fold forward. Bringing yourself into pyramid pose. And it's a intense stretch, so you may find that if you fold it forward, you might want to press up a little. So just play here. explore. And then an inhale, you're going to press your hands into the block, bend your knee. And we're going to come into a grounded warrior three, but again, we're going to make it gentle. So let that right foot go back straight. You can stay right here and straighten that right leg, or you can lift your left leg. So a couple variations, and that's where you'll see on, we'll go to the next side. It's a little balancing challenge for me. Your toes can be down, or you can lift that leg and just explore. And then as you take a breath, let your left leg come down, meet your right foot, bend your knees and sweep all the way up. Bring hands to heart center. Breathe, inhale, and exhale. This time in mountain pose, we'll take an inhale, extending your arms out. And as you exhale, bending your knees, bringing them forward. Inhale, extending out. Releasing. One more inhale out. Bending your knees. Sweeping all the way back up with hands at heart center. And we'll come into our flow on the opposite side. So sweeping up to the sky, floating down towards the earth, into a forward fold. Pressing up into a nice flat straight back. And bringing your right foot back. Left leg is straight. And then we'll bend the knee and straighten. Bending the knee and straighten. Again, bending and straighten and hold. And then you can stay, as I said, right here, or start to fold your head towards your leg. Just as we found in the strap, you might feel one side's a little tighter than the other, so you adjust. Pressing up, bending your left leg, we'll extend that right leg back, and then once again straighten your left leg once your right leg is anchored. Right toes, you can stay right here for your grounded warrior three. You can play with lifting. Whatever you do, just be aware. Just have some self-compassion in this gentle flow practice. Take an inhale, exhale, let that right leg come down, right foot to meet your left, bending your knees as you sweep all the way up to the sky. This time bringing your palms together and letting them float behind your head. Just stretch out our arms a little, palms up towards the sky, behind your head. One more up to the sky. One behind your head. And let that shoulders, your knees down. Arms more up to the sky. Hands floating back down to your sides, and let our palms come open in this standing mountain pose. Want to soften your eyes or gaze down at the floor. Just noticing. Hands to our waist. We'll just step out a little bit here. We'll start to come to in some nice, easy circles. So I can tend to be, I think I use a word in the beginning, a little bit aggressive sometimes when I'm in my movement. So for me, the challenge is to slow down, going in the opposite direction, nice and slow. Reaching up to the sky. Surf together, so wide, light to the Bring your palms down, bring your feet together, hands together, forearms as close as you can. Get them. Just like some figure eights. We're just gonna try to release our shoulders and wrists from all the poses and go in the opposite direction. Shake out your hands and arms. Get your shoulders maybe a little back and forth here. Bring our hands down just above our knees and start to do some circles here. So just trying to release some of the tension that we put on our ankles and legs. Go the opposite direction. Tadasana. Slowly letting yourself come forward, making your way back down on your knees and back into a child's pose. And as you move into this child's pose, taking again that very deep inhale, exhale and soften, soften and release. Breathing. Making your way once again onto your back. You can either extend your arms out to the sides, goddess arms, anything that's comfortable for you. And put mine on my belly. We'll come into some windshield wipers. So your knees go from side to side. So mountain pose is important to people that practice yoga. As I said, it's a foundational pose. But for those that study philosophy or the mythology, it was also a place where many sages would go and meditate on the mountain. Next time your knees come over to the right, just let them fall. Meditate and teach. So mountains have an importance in yoga. Coming back through center with your knees over to the left. Also said that if you dream of a mountain, that it could be you're trying to overcome an obstacle by climbing high on the mountain. Coming back to center if you want to windshield wipers or trying to achieve a goal. Significant for your joys and your dreams. Next time you come back through center, hugging your knees in. If anybody wants a little stretch on their back, you can bring your nose up to meet your knees. And then release. We'll come into, just as we started, a supine Tadasana, so extending your legs out. Feet are flexed as if they were standing on your mat. Turn the palms up, open our heart. And before moving into Shavasana, you set an intention, you might want to recall that now and take it with you into Shavasana. Breathe and feeling yourself strong and engaged in Shavasana. And slowly releasing, finding your Shavasana. Taking a full breath in, um, full breath in, and release, release into the mat, the earth, into surrender. Very gently begin to let yourself come back to the space around you. Starting to feel your breath moving at its natural flow, inhaling and exhaling. Be seeing some light behind your eyelids. And beginning to some gentle movement here, wiggling fingers and toes. Moving your head side to side to help you transition from practice to the rest of your day. And as you take these last moments and transition, listening to this quote by Nasa Zebra, these mountains that you are carrying, you are only supposed to climb. And so if you're still in Shavasana pose, gently making your way over to your side. And take a few breaths here. To help you transition. And on your next inhale, gently pressing up to seated on your exhale. And finding a nice, comfortable seat here. We'll bring our hands to heart center. And bowing your head. Honor the light and the teacher within you, that teacher that guides you through your practice, that honors your body and mind where it is at that moment. And then raising your head, bow, honoring the light and the teacher within you, the light and the teacher within me, and we become one. Peace, peace, peace. And thank you for sharing practice with me this afternoon.